You may remember in a previous video I bought this E39 530D M Sport, and we did take a quick look around the car while it was on the back of the truck, but we didn't actually get underneath it and have a proper look at just how good or bad this car actually is. So I thought what we could do while we've got a spare 10-15 minutes, we'd get it up in the air, we'd check out what it is like underneath, see if it is worth either putting back on the road and using it as a daily, or whether we take the engine out and put it in the E36, or just basically have a good look over it to try and work out what we are actually going to do with it depending on its condition. I think what we'll do first is we'll check out underneath, and then we'll have a look under the bonnet again, see how bad that is. I'll show you a bit more on the interior, as personally for me this is the interior that you do want when you've got an E39, as it is literally black on black absolutely everywhere, but we'll get to that a little bit later on in the video. So like I say, it is in position, so we'll get it sent up in the air and we'll check out just how bad it is underneath. Put it on the locks. We don't want no accidents. Ta-da! Right, so now we've got it up in the air, I think we will start at the front and work our way back, as that's probably the easiest thing to do. And I have already had a little quick look over it, so there's enough to get through. So if we start right at the front, like Nim very kindly pointed out, just say hi Nim.
That'll be there.
That's not saying hi Nim.
We'll say bye.
You can't just leave, we've only just started. We've got this bit here at the front, as you can see, it's, will that just pull off there? Yeah, that's just, it's just some filler. Like,
well, you can literally see how thick that's
yeah, that's thick, that is. Like, hey, come on, yeah, come on. Oh, that's satisfying as hell, that is. Oh.
It's like a kitchen tile.
In fact, you know what, present for you, there you go.
Yay.
We get you in the video somehow. Told ya. Well, that bit come off as well, because that is just too satisfying. Like, this is now just going to be a video of me pulling filler off the front of this car, because like that, like you say, is like a kitchen tile.
It's like getting a box of Heroes at Christmas. You're just peeling the wrappers off.
It's probably better than that, to be fair. But yeah, that is absolutely goosed. So we're going to have to do something with this, or we just get another bumper, because that's, yeah, that's quite bad. But then we've got arch liners, that's gone. Like, been rubbing on the wheel at some point, it's not been clipped up because this trim piece here is missing. The under tray, that's the same. It's been dragging on the floor and it's all damaged. We've got another missing piece of under tray here, which I think there's a section of it left there still. Is that? Oh, whoops. We'll just put that over there. But we've got that section missing as well. So all of that will need to be sorted. The obvious elephant in the room, if I get the light, is the oil leak. As you can see there, we've got a lovely bit of oil. And that is coming from, if Mr. Cameraman puts the camera up there, you'll see we've got the engine mount. Now, the engine mounts on these are oil filled, hence the oil being absolutely everywhere. We may have a little bit of a leak from the turbo, if you can sort of just see right up there on the bottom of the turbo. It might be a bit difficult to see, but I'll do the best with the camera. But there is a bit of a oil leak coming from there, so we're going to have to address that, or at least wash it off and see exactly where that is coming from once we have replaced the mount. And obviously we've got the vacuum line here, that should go to the mount, which is not connected to anything, and the T-piece up here is just dangling around doing not a lot. And then also on this side, I noticed earlier we've got the grinding front brakes, so that'll explain the scraping noise. So it's going to at least want a set of front discs and pads. If we have a look at the other side, I mean, there's a right lip on them, but they're not grinding or anything like that. And if we have a quick feel of the bearings, I mean, that one, apart from the brakes, that one doesn't feel too bad. And this one, same again. That one, again, apart from the brakes, it doesn't feel too bad. So if we carry on working our way back, the next thing that I noticed was we had a bit of a rattle, and I'm going to put a guess that rattle is coming from that clamp there, which is just not connected. But I think someone's done a bit of a hack job on this, because if you look at that clamp there, it's one, it's not original, and two, the amount of cuts that someone's done to try and put these sort of like repair sections of flexi pipe in is just ridiculous. I think Henry and Jackson could have done a better job, to be quite honest. I think Jackson on his own could have done a better job, but we're going to have to do something with that, because that's just ridiculous, and we'll probably end up fitting some sports cats, because who wants cats? They're no good. More of a dog man than a cat man myself. But yeah, we'll have to get that sorted as well. I have already drove the car, as you would have seen in the last video, so we know that the gearbox is good, we know that it runs good. I'm not overly concerned about the drivetrain in that sense. There was no noises coming from the diff or anything like that. So if we keep working our way back, typical sort of stuff, bit of a scabby brake line, but it's what year was it? 2003, I think?
I didn't even know.
Was it an 03? I'll put a thing on the screen now so you can see what year it is, but I think it's an 03. Can't really remember. So it's not really in too bad of a condition, to be quite honest. I mean, overall, to me, it doesn't look particularly bad. Yeah, it's not actually that bad. I mean, I've definitely seen a lot worse. It's still got sort of most of the plastics, although some of them are broke, and like all the brackets and sort of weights and all that sort of stuff, they all seem to be in the right place. Yeah, there should have been another bracket there, or another cover, should I say. That'll go from sort of here across and cover all of this here, but that's obviously missing. What's the prop shaft rubber like? Is that any good? Let's have a quick look at that. Yeah, it looks alright, to be fair. Is it original? Yes, original BMW. Not exhaust gearbox rubbers. They're not too bad. But like I say, there's no, other than the vibration in the engine, which we now know is the engine mount, I'm not overly concerned, to be fair. The biggest and probably the most concerning bit is, like I said we'd get into, the rust. Now we've got this section here, so if I bring the camera around this side, you'll see that up there we have got what can only be described as a mess, because
A bin. You've got a bin.
is a bin. We've got whatever that is, I have no idea. Chuck that. We've got what we got here. Ah, man, what we got here? It's like a treasure trove of goodies. Got some cardboard. We got what's this? What is that? Something to do with Morgan Beck brake discs.
It's a magazine. Well, part of one.
Some advertisement for a parts company. Forget the light, there is some other stuff up there as well. What the hell? Who's been stuffing stuff up the inside of the sill? What we got here? Same again. If we chuck that right there, what's that? What animal's been doing this? This is really bad. Right, is that filler as well? Or more silicone? I'm sure that's filler. Wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, with the amount of filler we just found in the front of the car. Can I get my whole hand in there? Oh, it goes on for ages. Oh, there's lots. Oh, wow. Bro, have you seen this? Come see. Come see. This is ridiculous. Wow. Newspaper. Bro, look at this. Look, I'm not making it up. We're literally just pulling it out. There's like half a magazine in here. Half of Vogue is in the sill. And it's not a Range Rover Vogue either. What is this one?
Is that for a part shop?
I think so, yeah.
Sorry, but it has these parts on.
Brake discs. TRW. Shout out to TRW there. What else we got here? We've got more. It's like a clown car, this is. It just keeps coming out. Like, what did they even stuff this in there for? Like, I really don't get why you would do this. Like, is that it? I think that's it.
For now.
Yoo-hoo, big summer blood. I think that is
Like a clown car, they'll come out more later.
Man, that's well, from what I can feel. Oh no, there's more. I can feel more. That's what I can feel. More cardboard. What?
At least we've got stuff for the fire log.
Wow, why would you do this? This is just madness. This is actual madness. I think that's empty now. I think. I should hope so. But yeah, we've got all that to address. So if you bring the camera up there, you'll see a little bit better. Now we've got the hole empty, that the jacking point has just been completely pushed in. But from what I can feel on the inside, the actual jacking point that is fixed on the inside of the outer sill that you can't see doesn't feel damaged, like it's quite solid there. So I think it has just pushed up the outer skin, as you can see, around the jacking point, which is why it's done sort of that. But we can address that, that's not a problem. I'm sure we can get outer sills. And if we have a look at the other side, from the back side, how bad's that? Like, I've got a feeling the moment that I touch this, that's just gonna turn to, yes, as I suspected.
If there was more structural integrity in that magazine, you just pull it out.
Yeah, it's we're better off with the magazines. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. What have I done? What have I
Another hole
done?
for yourself.
Say again.
Created another hole for yourself.
Well, yeah. Give myself another headache. What we've got there? Metal. Metal and sealer. So the back of that sill is a bit soft there. Oh, no, we've gone through. Yep, we've made a hole. There we go. There we go. I knew that it was there somewhere. We just have to keep digging. It's a bit soft, was what I was going to say before we created that hole. It is very, very soft. But it is savable. It's not too bad, as he keeps pulling bits of rust off. It's not too bad. What's it like from this side? Is it soft there? And you can see that one started to do the same. The outer skin's rotted, look. Oh, sorry. Mr. Jags. Oh, sorry. There we go. Was that in your mouth?
No.
Nearly.
Good.
We're all good. Well, it's started to rot.
Saving a bit in my beard, but
Save that bit for later.
yeah.
In case you get a bit peckish. But again, that is sortable. We'll end up probably sorting out this end piece here if we're going to be sort of chopping that bit out to get to that bit, as that is the only way to sort of rectify that. You cut this section out, pull it all out, sort out the inside, prep it, clean it all up, weld the new section back in, job done. Yeah, it's not actually that bad at all. I mean, like rear subframe, again, it's not too bad. Got one mount up here. We've got another mount. Where's the other one there? Up there. They don't look too bad. Another mount here. That one doesn't look too bad. And then the same again up there. Diff bushes. I mean, for what, a 22-year-old car is it? It's not actually that bad. It really ain't. I mean, we've got a bit of a noise there. What was that? What was that noise? Is that just the boot? Yes, it's just the rubber boot on the drive shaft. That's what that noise is. But if you look up there, we've got some perishing on the rear arms. Might be a bit difficult to see, but we've got perished bushes there on the back arms. So it probably want rear arms as well at some point. Well, it's definitely going to want rear arms because that won't pass an MOT. And then on this side, is it the same? Yes, it's the exact same. It's not the end of the world though. A couple of upper rear arms. You got the one this side. You got one that side. I do think that the rear shockers have been replaced at some point because, again, if I wipe that, if you can get the camera up there, you'll be able to see that on the shocker just here, quite clean. It looks quite new as such. The side, if we bring the light round there, same again. If I give that a bit of a wipe, the sticker itself looks relatively clean. So I'm assuming it's had rear shocks and springs at some point. Makes absolutely no difference because if I do end up putting it back on the road, obviously it's going to go on the deck, so it'll be on some form of coilovers or something. But it's nice to know that someone's tried to look after it. Obviously it's Yeah, you say, yeah, I say that. I mean, if you take a look here, it doesn't look like someone's tried to look after it, but we'll have a better look at that in a minute, because I think now we've had a good look around underneath, and we know sort of what we're going to do with these jacking points. We know that it needs a set of front discs and pads. We know that it needs an engine mount. We know we're going to have to clean up the brake lines. We know we're going to have to sort out the exhaust. I knew there was something else. So now we know what we have got to do. If we send it back down, we'll have another look at the bodywork, see what's what there and just how bad it actually is. We'll address the elephant in the room, which is that rear corner, as Jags very kindly pointed out just. And then we'll have a look at the inside, and then we can try and make a decision on what we're going to do with this car. So let's get it back on the deck and let's have a look at the top side of this E39. We've got to get it off the locks first. That is a ridiculous amount. Like, what the hell? Who? If you know who did this, tag them in this video, because that is absolutely ridiculous. Like, that is bad. Now we've got it back on the floor, we'll address the elephant in the room that was quite obvious when the car got dropped off, and that is the damage, which is the reason why this is my crashed E39. And like I said in the last video, it's not actually that bad because we haven't got any damage to the panels. It hasn't damaged any of the plastics. The back panel hasn't been damaged, and we know that because the seam sealer, none of this is split. Obviously, we can't see any damage, but none of the sealers split here along the top or along the top there. None of the exhaust mounts or anything like that has moved. There's no damage to the rear crash bar, which is part of the bumper. Obviously, the bumper is completely and utterly screwed, but throw that in the bin. But obviously, we are going to need a new bumper, so I'm not really that bothered about that. But like I said, the main part is none of this here is damaged. None of that there is damaged. So all we've got to do to get this rectified is just simply remove what is left of this broken bumper, take off the parking sensor wiring loom, fit a new bumper, connect everything back up, and job done. I mean, I think it's that simple. Even I reckon you could do that, to be honest. That is an easy, simple job.
Yeah. I'd give it a bash.
I reckon.
I couldn't damage it more than.
I reckon if we do get a bumper, that could be your first task on the channel. To be fair, that is a horrible sound. Your first task would be to replace the bumper and get rid of this horrible, horrible, nasty Shin Smasher 3000, because that is all that is. The Shin Smasher 3000, because you'd be minding your own business, just la 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 la, minding your own business, and smack straight into it. And honestly, it will make the biggest, grownest of men cry. I am telling you now, that needs to go, obviously, when the bumper gets changed. So that's probably the most obvious bit of damage that is on the entire car. I mean, it is sort of scattered with little rusty bits like that bit around the boot lid. Usually they are pretty common for going along that sort of scuttle panel there. I mean, if we lift it, no, we can't lift it. Okay, that's a little bit embarrassing. But if I grab the key, it needs to be in park. Take two. If I grab the key, which I'll show you the key, look at the state of this. Like, it looks like Aussie has owned it, as in the key, not the car. But it's, yeah, it's in better days. If we get the key wrong way, correct way, you can see that inside it's not actually that bad along there. They are quite common. The white E39 I've got, the one on bags, that's started to go a little bit along there. So, but that's saying that that is a 96 car, so there's what, 6-7 years difference between them. That's probably that is one of the first ones being a P. This will be one of the last ones being an 03, because the 60 came out in 2004. You can get an early one on like an 04 54 plate. Yeah. But we're getting sidetracked. The actual condition of it, I mean, apart from the dirt.
Yeah, the building site.
It's not, and the obvious building site in the boot. Yeah, it's, that is disgusting. That is actually disgusting. What is that? Ah, okay, so he tried to fix his exhaust problems with paste. Is it any good? Ooh. Is it only going to come out? Come on. I think he used it all. I can hear it, but I can't see it. It didn't smell that good either. We won't be using that. But yeah, it's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. I don't even know how you'd... Is that even cleanable? I mean, there's going to be some detailer out there that absolutely cream themselves for this. Surely. Isn't this what detailers live for? Like, pretty much. They just want to clean dirt out of people's cars.
I think that may be like a bit too much.
I mean, if we do decide to put it back on the road and there are any detailers that want the challenge, feel free to drop me a message and you can come and clean the boot until your heart's content. There's one thing I needed to check, and that was the toolkit. Now, anyone that knows BMWs knows that inside here should be complete. Should be complete, but judging by the state of
the incomplete car,
the rest of the car, I'm not expecting this to be complete. Now, I should have done this in the last video. I forgot. So, to all the die-hard BMW fans, I apologise, but the moment of truth is now. Oh, it's not complete. We've got a spanner missing. We've got the little bar. Was that the screwdriver hole? No, that's the screwdriver hole. We've got the mole grips. There's the little bar hole. There's another screwdriver. No, that's the screwdriver. What went there then? Would that be the bar? Spark plug socket thing, even though it's a diesel. Obviously, I don't think they discriminated whether it was diesel or petrol. I don't really think it mattered. But we have got the triangle. We have got the locking key. Has it even got locking wheel nuts on it? I'm not sure. Yes, it does. So I'm so glad that we have the locking wheel nut key. That's going to stay there because I have a thing about locking wheel nut keys. I hate them. Yeah, I was just thinking that. That is definitely bent. That is definitely, what the hell have they been doing with that? Right, okay, so we'll pop the bent toe eye back there. So we haven't got a complete toolkit, so that might be something else to look at, getting the rest of them, if I decide to put it back on the road. Obviously, being an M Sport, we've got the little lip spoiler there. Obviously, it is an M Sport bumper. We're going to have to replace it with an M Sport bumper. I'm not going to just put an SE bumper on it. I did notice that we've got a bit of bubbling here. Now, it does look like someone has been here in the past, so I'm going to assume, and by the feel of that, that is probably filler, and that is dirt. But behind the dirt is going to be a lot of filler, and it's starting to bubble back through. But it's not the end of the world. Did that just crack? I thought that just cracked. It's the exact same on there, but the difference is someone's had a go at painting it and done what can only be described as a very piss poor job, because it's like a completely different shade of silver. But nonetheless, it started to come back through there. But it's not the end of the world. That isn't going to stop it going through an MOT. If we decide to put it back on the road, we could sort that at a later date. Obviously, we've got that bit at the bottom there. Throw him out the way. Be gone. We've got that bit along the bottom there. Along the bottom of this door, you'll be able to see it's starting to bubble all along here, along the top of the sill there. I think this part of the sill is also filler, judging by the state of it and the fact that someone again has been a little bit happy with the rattle can. But it's not the end of the world. If we've got to sort that end piece of the sill, we might as well just cut the lot off, or potentially cut the lot off and do a proper job of it rather than a half-hearted job. Typical, again, E39 mirror caps. It's quite a common thing on BMs really. It's just aluminium and it all just flakes off and goes a bit nasty. And the windscreen trims, they're common as hell as well. They break up and go brittle and snap off into a million pieces. But I don't think there's any damage to the screen. I don't remember seeing any chips or anything like that. And we also, what we noticed earlier was we have wildlife. So if you bring the camera in round the back, round there, you'll be able to see that inside here we have some plant life, some actual greenery. Not only are we now mechanics, we are now gardeners. And if I pop the bonnet, we might be able to see that a little bit better, and we can take a look at the engine again. Because we didn't really get a good look at that last time. Ah, there's the greenery. Is it actually growing out of the car? I've got a stick there. Ozzy will like that. We'll save that for Ozzy. Is that actually growing out? Yeah, it's actually in the car. Like it's attached. Pull it out. There we go. Greta's gonna lose her mind over this. How dare you?
How dare you?
Pull the trees out and then go and flick the every mod on. How to piss off every environmentalist. Going back to the car, the engine bay, albeit it's dusty, it's dirty. Personally, when I go and look at an engine bay, I prefer to see dust and dirt and all that sort of stuff, because you know that they haven't washed it off and potentially washed it to hide a leak or something daft like that. So the fact that it is grubby, yeah, there is a few leaks, we're not going to deny that, but overall it isn't actually that bad. Everything seems to be where it needs to be. The mileage on the dash, which we'll check and get onto that in a sec, I think it was 207k. I think it says 207.
I remember the 200.
I need to do a check on it. I still haven't done a check on it. I probably should have done a check on it by now. But for the price that it was, worst case, even if we end up using the engine out of it,
How much did you buy it for again?
350. So you'd pay that, if not double that, just for an engine.
Yeah.
That you know works and is all good. So I don't really see how you can be down with it. Do you know what I mean? Worst case, you take the engine out of it, you weigh what's left in. You're not going to lose out a fat lot, but you've still got the engine to put in something else. That was sort of half of the thought process behind it. But as it seems at the minute, to some people, it probably isn't worth putting back on the road. It probably isn't worth doing anything with other than ripping the engine out. But people like me kind of enjoy putting this sort of stuff back together. So there's potential there. I can see the potential, and obviously it's got
Well, it's
this.
an E39, so regardless of what rolled in here, you see potential.
Yes, that doesn't help. Like, this is the third one now. Like, why do you need 3 of the same car?
I thought it was 4 here.
No, there's 4 BMs, because obviously me and Craig have got the white E36.
Yeah.
Then there's the one on bags. There's the manual TDS,
Yeah.
the other white one, and then there's obviously this one.
What's the black one?
Alpina.
That's an Alpina B10. If anyone's interested in Alpinas or anything like that, and you want to see a video on that, drop a comment in the comment section and let me know, and I'm sure we can sort out a little video and show you all about that. Like, the main reason that I did buy this was because of this engine. That was literally the reason why. Nothing else.
Got it.
Because like I say, worst case, we could always use this in the E36
Right, okay.
with a manual box swap, a few other bits and bobs, engine mount brackets. I'm sure you can buy a conversion loom as well that's pretty much plug and play. So you just plug it into the engine, wire it into your E36 or whatever, a transit, canal boat, pallet, whatever you've put the engine on, you just literally put power, earths, ignitions, lives, all that sort of stuff to your conversion loom, and boom, off it'll go. Wiring your throttle pedal and you're away pretty much. But again, like I say, that was one of the reasons, because worst case, if I don't do anything with the car, then that can still be used somewhere else. There's still a purpose to it. But I think if we have a look at the inside, everything it's locked. Of course it's locked. Where's that broken ass key? Put it back together so it doesn't snap in half. Right, let's lock it.
Brought a car and a Lego kit.
Why is that not open then? Ah, there we go. Ta-da! Yeah, free Lego kit with the car. But like I said earlier on, everything on the inside is black on black. Now, with it being an M Sport, you do get different seats, so you get a bit more of a bolster there, a bit more of a bolster here. It's just got a bit more of a sort of hunkered, sporty feel, and you also get the extendable leg supports, which you don't get in an SE. You also get in this one half a chocolate wrapper, which is obviously free of charge.
I wouldn't be surprised if you found more.
And we also get a Hoover attachment. If anyone needs a Hoover attachment, let me know and I'll send it to you in the post. Free of charge. What else we got in here? We've got a couple of lights. Have a look in your door card, see what's in there.
You've got a few ring pulls from cans.
Someone was collecting the ring pulls, were they? Have we got anything in the centre console, centre armrest? Oh, we've got a toilet roll.
Oh,
Nice.
this is not used.
We've got a receipt. Yes, at least it's not used. That's oh, it moves as well. There we go. Slide that back. Is that individual?
What is that?
Rear heater controls in the back there. This was why I put gloves on,
Yeah.
because you might catch some form of disease. COVID-21. That'll be going in the bin. We've got a broken cup holder. Not that they are any good in an E39, because you put anything in there, the moment you do any form of alteration to the steering wheel that isn't a straight line, the can just goes flying. Like one, there's no two ways about it, it just goes flying. But we've also got the black dash, like the upper and the lower, always going in the glove box. We've got the torch. Does the torch work? Let's see. Does that work? Please work. Yes, it works. Not very well, but look, Nim. We've got a working torch. What do you mean you can't see? It works.
I think he's really impressed.
Oh, is that the bulb?
Yeah, that's the bulb. He's smiling, look. He's smiling. There we go. See, it's a good torch, that is. OEM, look. BMW.
Oh, that's worth it.
That was worth the 350.
Do you know what I mean? 350 quid for a BMW torch. What more could you want? I'm glad it works, to be fair. I'm glad it works. Oh, that is so retro. Wow. I've not seen one of them for years. Who needs Apple CarPlay when you got that?
Does it even have a cassette?
Yes, it does. BMW Business cassette player.
Business.
But then also, I'm sure there was a 6 CD changer somewhere. I'm sure there was. Was it in the boot? Or it might be in one of the other ones. I might be going a little bit crazy. It's what happens when you have 3 of the same car. You only need 1. But for some reason, we seem to think we need more. And like I was saying, we've got the black upper, we've got the black lower dash with the silver trim, so it's got like a brushed aluminium effect. And we've also got, if I can actually get into the car, losing all my dignity again here. I'm getting too old for this climbing around. We've also got a black roof lining, which is in pretty damn good condition considering. We've got black A, B and C pillars, which again are all in good condition. The leather's black and the door cards are black on black with the aluminium trim as well. So personally for me, this is the best interior apart from this aluminium trim. Now I will put up on the screen a shot of the trim that is in both of the other E39s. Off the top of my head right now I can't think what this trim spec is called, but I will also put that on the screen so you can find that out. But to me that is the best trim that you can get for an E39. So black on black with whatever trim it is in the other ones is like sort of the ultimate interior for an E39 for me. But as it goes, it's got no holes in the seats. It doesn't look like someone's had a knife fight in here. Apart from the obvious dirt and grime and diseases and all that sort of stuff, it's relatively good. And if Mr. Jags passes the camera to me here, I'll be able to show you that we have got the hole again in the dashboard there, which the only thing that I can see would make any form of sense for doing that would be to try and rectify the pixels in the clocks. As anyone that's got a BM will know that they are pretty common for just blowing out. The pixels go all mad and you can't read anything on that screen at all. And there is a trick on the internet. I'll try and put up a video now so you can see what I'm on about. But I think someone has tried to do that. It hasn't worked because quite clearly, again, you can see that the pixels are absolutely screwed. And all they've managed to achieve is butchering a hole in the dashboard, leaving it a mess, and now someone like me has got to sort this. And it was as simple as taking out, I'm sure there's one screw there, and another screw. This whole fascia trim comes off, and then you can unscrew the clocks, pull them out and separate them. Or just buy another set of clocks and put them in. But whatever, they seem to have thought that putting a hole in the dashboard was the better option. So again, if you know who did that, please tag them in this video, because it'd be nice to ask them what was going through their head and if they were okay in their head at the time of doing that, because that is not rational thinking. That is the most unrational thinking I have ever heard. But I'm happy with it, to be honest. I am happy with it, and I've got an idea of what I think I want to do with it as well, to be honest. So if I get out, I think I'll tell you what I want to do with it, because what I think I want to do is put it back on the road and use it as a daily, as personally, yeah, okay, it needs a bit of work. It's not a minter, but that's the reason why I want to use it as a daily, as we could chuck a bumper on it, we can weld up the backs of the sills, we can give it a good service, we can chuck some rear arms on the back, we can chuck some brakes on the front along with an engine mount, get 12 months ticket on it, and theoretically then, we should have a decent car. I mean, you haven't been in it yourself, but I have drove it already. You would have seen in the last video. For those that haven't seen the video, I'll link it at the end of this one or somewhere in the description or something. But I have drove it. Apart from the vibration goes through the car, it drives absolutely sound. The gearbox is fine. It doesn't overheat. It gets up to temperature as it should. I can't see any reason why it wouldn't make a good daily. Well, I know it's going to be comfy because I drive one anyway, just with a lot less power. And then there's that aspect of it. It's got a lot more power than the TDS. So it just makes it a bit more livable with, do you know what I mean? You can actually get down the road at the pace of the rest of modern traffic, not be stuck behind because you're running on like practically one step up from farm equipment.
Well, I had a 320D a couple of years ago, and that wasn't...
They're a bit gutless, unless you've got like a map on them and a few other bits and bobs. They're a bit...
Yeah.
Come on.
I completely get what you mean.
It's, yeah, not that it's time for a change, because I love the E39 and I love my TDS, but I think it's time for a change. So this is change. Not that it's changing far, but this is change. So I think if I do decide to MOT, put it back on the road and all that sort of stuff, the next question is, do we try and chase some power out of it with maybe a hybrid turbo and some other bits and bobs, and not get too crazy, but a sort of 350, 400 brake daily E39, I think that'd be quite cool. So I think if that's what you want to see, me putting this E39 back on the road as opposed to taking the engine out, scrapping the shell and all, I mean, if you want to see that, then let me know, and I think we could probably make a funny video out of it. But I think it'd be more beneficial for myself and maybe for content if we get this old crate MOT'd, back on the road, and give it another lease of life. And like I say, it's not a minter, but that's the reason why I want to do it. So if you do want to see that happening, drop a comment in the comment section below. If you want to see that happening and you think we should try and get some power out of it after we've got it MOT'd and on the road and all that sort of stuff, again, let me know in the comment section. And don't forget, if you know the guy that did that with the inside of the dashboard and the back bumper, please let me know, because I'd like to know what was going through his head and just to make sure that he is okay. But I am going to leave it there. So if you've enjoyed watching this video, hit that like button. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. It is totally free, and every subscription from every single one of you guys makes doing things like this, buying these cars and making all this content to keep you lot entertained possible. So from me, it's a great big thank you. From Jagsy, it is a great big thank you as well. For now, it is a wrap, as I've got the one series to do, so there'll be another video of that on the main channel. So if you want to check that out and you haven't already subscribed as well, head over to the Dreadlock Mechanic, hit that subscribe button, and there's plenty to see on there as well. But for now, I am going to leave it. I'm going to stop chatting absolute shit, and I will catch you lot in the next one. So as always, thanks for watching, thanks for following. Fucking mint. But yeah, that is a lot of cardboard.